Manny, good to see you, brother. How you doing? How you been? Kamal, good to see you, brother. How you doing? How you been? T-Rox, yo, Miles, how you doing? How you been? Kamal, how do you think this weekend will play out? How do I think this weekend will play out? Um, well, waiting for more data is how it's going to be playing out. But normally on the weekends, market goes down, and then on Monday when the market reopens for the stock market, crypto tends to follow the stock market for quite a while now. Following the CPI data, crypto isn't really going against the whole inflation situation for a very long time. It's been doing that. It's just following the track record of the stock market. So on that basis, the market opens up Monday good. We should be good as well. Well, Miles and family, Comatose, good to see you. How you doing? So weekends normally goes down, and then weekdays it goes back up again. Woodhouse, good to see you. How you doing? Comatose, good to see you. How you doing? Boo. Let's go, Shelly. Shelly, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Managed to make it tonight. Let's go, Woodhouse. Hey, CMF and Miles. Stormy, good to see you. How you doing, Stormy? Hello, Miles and family. Let's go, Shelly. Hello, brother. Got it, Chloe. Good to see you. How you doing? Dale, good to see you. How you doing? Hello, Miles, mate. How you doing, Dale? How you been? So, on tonight's live show, we have a mixture of news to go through as usual, but also with Q&As. And some interesting news. Also, by the way, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's liking this live show right now. I'm getting notifications. Thank you so much to everyone that's liking this live show right now and retweeted on X. And thank you so much to everyone on YouTube that's liking this live show as well. And Scott, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Funky brother, good to see you as well. Evening, how you doing? How you been? Putting this in charge. There we go. Happy Pisces, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? So, on tonight's live show, we have a mixture of news to go through. Interesting mixture of news to go through because we know that cryptocurrency projects are backing politicians. For a while now, we know that they're backing politicians, and obviously we're going into one of the biggest, election years possibly. The presidential election inside the United States, which is a massive deal, not just for the United States. As I said previously, the US elections is massive for the entire world because it impacts everyone in the world. So we have some updates on who is backing Trump as well. And we're going to go through that on tonight's live shows on which crypto project or which person from a particular crypto project is backing Trump. I have some updates on that. We're also going to be talking about crypto payments for salaries that's just been approved in Dubai. We're also going to be going through the news topic on tonight's live show regarding Chainlink. So Chainlink services have went completely live on Base Network. Data streams and VRF are now officially integrated with Coinbase's platform, completely with Chainlink. We're also going to be talking about the US regarding social media. So it seems like the US is now focusing heavily on influencers that are pushing random crypto projects onto people. And they're actually getting very severe regarding the punishments on anyone that's promoting random crypto projects on purpose. The US is actually giving out and dishing out severe punishments. Same scenario with the FCA inside the United Kingdom. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding the US Financial Services Committee and the backlight touch to AI regulations. So it seems like the US is now focusing on AI regulations and policies as well, comparable to cryptocurrencies. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Germany. Germany's Information Security Office has championed for hardware wallets. So Germany's Information Security Office has came out with a roadmap of a step-by-step on how to protect your assets in Germany as a German citizen using cold storage wallets, and they're describing to everyone step-by-step how to use them, which is nice to see. We're also going to be talking about on tonight's live show regarding the XRP Ledger setting that $1 trillion trust and essentially limit on the RLUSD stablecoin. We're also going to go through on tonight's live show regarding the International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund has proposed an interesting idea on taxation for crypto mining. A ridiculous idea, but we're going to go through on tonight's live show as well. We're also going to be going through the news regarding Hong Kong. So does Hong Kong have any issues with USDT or USDC? We're going to go through that on tonight's live show as well. And we're also going to go through MasterCard news once again. So recently, MasterCard partnered with MetaMask to release bank cards, MasterCard bank cards in the UK and EU first, and everybody else in every other jurisdiction by the end of the year should have a MetaMask MasterCard where you can connect your MasterCard wallet, your MetaMask wallet to your MasterCard bank account and use it on a daily basis. But MasterCard has collaborated with Africa and Middle Eastern countries for digital payments now as well. So it's making headlines right now. So mixture of news to go through regarding jurisdiction news, regulation news, AI regulation news, International Monetary Fund news. Mixture of news to go through. Trump news to go through as well related to cryptocurrencies and stablecoin news. So quite a mixture of news to go through on tonight's live show. Welcome to the CMF live show. If you're watching this for the first time ever, CMF stands for Crypto Miles Family. And on this live show, every single night, I talk about the most recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, politics, regulations. And the disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, no political advice, and what advice is only for entertainment purposes. So if you're watching this for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. If you are new, welcome to the CMF live show. If you're a regular, let's go CMF. The live show has officially started now. We also do live Q&As as well on this live show. So if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. This is a live show, so it's a live Q&As going on. Now, before we go through the first news, which is related to Trump, which is something that we were discussing yesterday on this live show, and interesting enough, it came up on the news today. So we're discussing yesterday on this live show regarding Trump, regarding Kamala Harris, and regarding cryptocurrency policies, and is this just one big show? Is it rigged? And so on. And we have some interesting news to go through regarding the Trump administration, because we know what the Kamala Harris administration is, just pro-CBDCs. But we know, obviously, that Trump is also pro-crypto instead of CBDCs. But he's chosen somebody interesting to be a part of Trump's team. Before we go through that, let's go start the comment section first. Evening, Miles of CMF. Joe, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Lena, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hello, Miles of CMF. Let's go. Scott, hello, Miles of CMF. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's go, Scott. How you doing, brother? How you been? Orphan, good evening, Miles of CMF. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Dennis, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening, Miles and family. Hope you're all well. Let's go, Ian. How you doing? Pablo, good to see you as well. How you doing? So, Trump picks Howard for key role in transition team. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has announced that Howard, CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, will co-chair his transition team if he wins the elections. Linda, a former U.S. administrator for small business administrations, will be joining Howard, Trump's vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance, and his son, Eric, and Donald Trump Jr. will chair the event as honorary chairman as well. Now, Cantor Fitzgerald has been a custodian for Tether, the largest stablecoin since late 2021. Howard has publicly supported the stability of Tether, stating that the company has adequate funds despite ongoing speculations about Tether's reserves. Yes, there are much speculations regarding Tether's reserves, but Howard, who has now joined Donald Trump's team, is somebody that's pretty much behind Tether. So somebody behind Tether has just joined Donald Trump's team. And on the other side, somebody behind Ripple joined Kamala Harris's administration. Things are getting interesting on that matter. So this move is seen as significant for the crypto industry, with Alexandra Grieve from Paragram highlighting Howard's influence and bullish stance on cryptocurrencies. Grieve also stated that Trump's transition leadership announced in conclusion of Howard is a huge for crypto. He personally briefed the House Republican Conference last year on stablecoins and is a big crypto bull. The influx of millions of dollars into super political action committees and Trump's promise to seize on unlawful and un-American crackdowns on the U.S. crypto businesses have made cryptocurrencies a major feature of 2018 election season. The former president has also gained traction with the sector by appointing crypto-friendly Vance as his running partner and pledging to support Bitcoin miners as well. Candidates and Vice President Kamala Harris has started interacting with cryptocurrency sectors as well, stating that they are interested in finding out more information. Kamala Harris hasn't stated her opinions on cryptocurrencies yet. She really hasn't. I don't think she has any opinions on cryptocurrencies because she has zero idea what cryptocurrencies are. But now going back to the whole Trump and Tether. So it seems like Tether is putting their weight behind Trump. It could be because when obviously Biden is still in power, the Biden administration is still in power as well, and Kamala was, a part of the Biden administration. They weren't really keen on stable coins, and they weren't really keen on essentially Tether at all. And it seems like Tether has decided to put their power and their money behind Trump. So Tether is now backing Trump in a way, because this person was behind Tether and is now behind Donald Trump. There's an indirect link basically between this person and Tether, but this person is an advocate for Tether. Multiple times he's talked about how Tether has backings and he wants to put a stop to Tether's speculation, and the speculation being that Tether has no backings. But Trump has now got a new teammate on his wing, and it's Tether. USDT is behind Donald Trump. To put it in fairness, Ripple is backing both of them, just to point that out as well. Ripple is backing Kamala on a small basis, but also a member of Ripple's previous member of Ripple's board is now in the Kamala administration, and Ripple also made a donation to Trump's campaign as well. So Ripple is backing both Trump and Kamala. Tether is only backing Trump now. It's interesting. This is quite interesting regarding matters of USDT really wants to stick around if they're backing a presidential candidate. They really want to stick around. They want to be on Trump's good side when he does make it the presidency, so that Tether can still operate. And when I say Ripple is backing Trump and Kamala, so with backing Trump, one of Ripple's members made a donation of $300,000 worth of XRP to the Trump campaign. And on the basis of Kamala is obviously a previous board member of Ripple, is a part of Kamala's administration. That's only because Kamala is pro-CBDC, so that's why there's a board member of Ripple with Kamala, because Kamala is pro-CBDC, and they're backing Trump with some donations as well. So they're covering both sides of the field. But Tether is only backing Trump because Biden was never a fan of stablecoins. I mean, I don't know. Let's not say Biden, the Biden administration, because Biden's not all there. But the Biden administration was never a fan of stablecoins, and they were never a fan of Tether either. They did look into Tether multiple times, actually. But now, he wants to back Trump. This is an interesting play that Tether is doing right now. But also, later on tonight's live show, I'm going to be giving you a perspective from Hong Kong's authorities. And what's interesting is Tether wants to make their headquarters in Hong Kong, is what was originally announced. Tether wants to put their headquarters in Hong Kong because it's a province of China, basically. And that's basically where most of Tether's money comes. Most of Tether's money comes from China. They're printing it on Tron mostly. But and I'm going to give you a perspective towards the ending of this live show regarding what Hong Kong thinks of Tether and USDC. But so far, they're backing Trump. Now, the next news to go through on tonight's live show, we are going to go in the comment section first, but the next news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding crypto payments as salaries, is what's going to be happening in Dubai. It just got green lighted that people can be paid in cryptocurrencies for their wages in Dubai. Before we go through that news, let's go to the comment section first. The court approved that, by the way, but let's go to the comment section first. Let's see where we were. Good day, Miles and CMF. Mike, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Evening, Miles. Bit late on product. Sorry, no, poor perfect timing. Honestly, that's not a good move by Trump as far as I'm concerned. Hello, Miles and CMF. Glenda, good to see you. How you doing? Sounds like good cop, bad cop with Tether person going to Trump, so Trump can find out as much as I can about the weakness of Tether, and Ripple can find out the weakness of the team and their narrative and share it back to Trump. That's an interesting perspective to have, Happy Pisces. It's a very interesting perspective. You're definitely thinking outside the box with that one. Hi, Miles, the CMF family. Good to see you guys. It is time to turn on my CMF TV. What's the news? We're talking about Tether backing Trump. Ripple can't show true strainers of any party. That would be foolish, as you know. Yes, definitely. Facts, what Happy Pisces said. It is quite foolish to show your cards. So Ripple backing both sides is what typically you should do. when it comes to politics, because either side can win, and then you're basically in their good books for either side that wins. But Tether is willingly backing essentially Trump. Indirectly, they're backing Trump, not directly, indirectly. So it is okay to hold USDT, or do you think this will dump? Let's see how things play out. I feel sorry for Trump. USDT will take Trump down with them. Now, God help America. So far, the MICA isn't affecting me in Sweden. I still use USDT on KuCoin, but I'm a bit worried. Slowly, any exchange that isn't essentially most exchanges, so for example OKX exchange and a few other exchanges, have already delisted USDT for EU regulations policies, the MICA, and the rest that haven't, those slowly start delisting. They have time until January. Maybe USDT will stay hush on their finances. It could do. Hello Miles, Anna, good to see you. How you doing? How you been, Anna? Outside the box, you're such a gentleman. Let's go, Abby Pisces. I know what you were really thinking. That was definitely outside the box. It was an interesting perspective. I like to hear sometimes things that don't cross my mind sometimes. But your second point regarding Ripple can't show their, which side the party they're on is foolish, is facts. Absolutely facts, Happy Pisces, definitely. Now, crypto payments. Crypto payments for salaries is what's going to be happening in Dubai. It was just approved. The Dubai Court of First Instance has ruled that cryptocurrencies can be used to pay salaries within employment contracts. This judgment could be considered a vital sign of the UAE opening up to cryptos in the country's legal framework. The facts in that case centered on the employee who sought to recover unpaid wages, which included part of the payment in EcoWatt tokens as provided in the employment contract. Now, Dubai's court validates cryptocurrencies for employee salaries. The Dubai Court of First Instance, in case number 1739 of 2024, has taken a different approach than in previous years back in 2023. Before, the court did not allow such payments due to the absence of proper mechanisms to essentially estimate the equivalent fiat value. This time, the court decided in favor of the employee to extend that the employer must pay the crypto part without the need to convert it back to fiat. They increasingly use cryptocurrencies as a form of payment, a sign that is increasingly accepted as legal tender. This case shows that the court has been progressive in applying the contracts. Other laws regarding the UAE of digital currencies and the UAE jurisdictions. This is especially the case as it points out to the changes that are taking place in the Web3 economy regarding financial transactions. UAE court ruling supports digital currency adoption. The court ruling was made based on the UAE civil transaction laws and federal decrease laws number 33 of 2021 to ensure consistency in applying legal norms. The judgment holds that employment agreements can be enforced irrespective of digital currencies. This case therefore provides a good foundation for acceptance of digital currencies in the future conduct of business. Legal scholars believe that this decision will lead businesses and entities to devise other new ways of processing payments. The court's acceptance of cryptocurrency payments has provided a boost to crypto payments. It also opened the UAE economy to a wider and more diversified future ahead of itself. This ruling may also contribute to the expansion of applications of digital currencies in different fields, which supports the vision of the UAE to be a global capital for the future economy. The UAE supports legal framework for crypto payments. This decision is great for employees, and it shows that the UAE is willing and prepared for such economic changes. Thus, providing a legal framework for digital currencies is essential as they are increasingly used as payment methods. This court decision may lead other jurisdictions to follow the same path of this atmosphere of cryptocurrency payments. This decision also supports the proposition that provisions in employment contracts should be precise. Employers should therefore ensure that the mode of payment, whether fiat or cryptocurrencies, is clearly stated and understood. This decision will properly affect how companies write employment contracts, especially in the most advanced sectors that embrace digitalizations. So, one person took a certain company to court in Dubai. This is how it all started. Very basic way of how it started, but absolutely amazing how it's actually landed towards the end. But one person decided to sue a company that they used to work for because in their contracts, it stated that they have to pay in cryptocurrencies. So this person took the job in Dubai thinking he's going to get paid in cryptocurrencies. By the end, he didn't get paid in cryptocurrencies, and therefore he took this company to court. Back in 2023, so last year, the courts said that, well, digital currencies, we don't really see them as legal tender, so this company technically doesn't have to pay you. Fast forward to 2024, the same case was brought back up again, and the judge ruled, no, this time around, we actually do see cryptocurrencies as legal tender. Therefore, they do have to pay you that certain amount of cryptocurrencies. And because of this case, now people in Dubai can start paying other people's wages in cryptocurrencies. This case just pretty much set a new milestone in Dubai for whoever wants to be paid in cryptocurrencies can now be paid as within their wages or salaries in cryptocurrencies, which is definitely a new milestone for the UAE, 100%. And the only reason they can do this, in essence, is only because they have previous regulations in place. This is how important regulations are. If the US bothered to move much more quicker, it would be much more better. Well, unfortunately, we have Gary Gensler in control of regulations, and squeezing regulations out of him is pretty much mission impossible. But just because the UAE had regulations in place beforehand, it made it much more easier for this ruling to happen, which I think is definitely a genuinely new milestone for UAE, for people to get paid in cryptocurrencies. Massive, absolutely massive. For it to be seen as legal tender. Now, the next news on tonight's live show is regarding Chainlink. Chainlink and Base. Base Network being essentially Coinbase. Coinbase being one of the biggest crypto platforms out there. Massive influence around the world. Also, for some odd reason, South Korea and Japan pension funds are very heavily funded into Coinbase's company shares. But putting that to one side, Chainlink services go live on Base. Data streams and VRF now officially integrated within Coinbase platform. Chainlink's VRF and data streams have gone live on Coinbase Layer 2 blockchain Base, offering developers access to the entire Chainlink product suite on Base. Base provides a robust platform for decentralized apps supporting Ethereum and Coinbase assets, while Chainlink's VRF and data streams power the next generation of DeFi products. In a major development, decentralized computing platform Chainlink announced that its two products, Chainlink VRF and Chainlink data streams, have gone live on Coinbase's Layer 2 scalable blockchain Base, which resides on the Ethereum blockchain network. As a result of this development, the entire Chainlink product suite will be available to Base developers. The full Chainlink experience is now on Base. Chainlink's data streams provide an all-in-one solution for DeFi market. It combines low latency market data with automated market executions to offer ultra-fast and high throughput DeFi products. As we know, Chainlink data streams provides high-frequency market data through decentralized infrastructures. Besides, it also enables high throughput DeFi products while offering a user experience comparable to centralized exchanges. Thus, it helps to enhance on-chain execution speed while maintaining essentially top-tier security, thereby making a significant leap forward for decentralized finance applications. Speaking at the development, the head of blockchain partnerships at Chainlink Labs said, Base's build-friendly environment is a natural fit for Chainlink products, and we're excited to see all the Chainlink platforms now available on Base. Chainlink data streams, low latency market data will enable developers to build the next generation of DeFi products, while VRF will now enable smart contracts on Base to access random number generation securely. Chainlink leveraging the power of Coinbase Base network. Built upon the Ethereum network Layer 2, network Base provides security, stability, and scalability. Top power decentralized applications, the apps. Base offers a reliable, essentially, platform for deploying the EVM codes, thereby allowing projects to onboard users and assets from Ethereum, Coinbase, and interoperability chains. Besides, Base serves an on-chain hub for Coinbase products, assets, and users. It also serves as an open system for encourages developments while reducing costs for users. Tom, the head of products at Base, said, we're excited to see all the Chainlink infrastructure solutions are now on Base for developers to build the next generation of essentially on-chain apps. Base is extremely ecstatic about this, but so is Coinbase essentially, and so is Base Network. Coinbase is also planning to leverage this Base platform for launching a competitor to wrapped Bitcoin dubbed CBDC. Although Coinbase hasn't shared many details regarding the same, it is clear that it wants to expand the Bitcoin ecosystem while revolutionizing the DeFi space. On the other hand, Chainlink VRF has emerged as the leading random number generator when essentially within Web3 ecosystems. It also fulfills 21 million request transactions for thousands of smart contracts across multiple chains. And Chainlink VRF recently upgraded to 2.5 version while introducing key enhancements for developers, simplified billing, and upgraded user experience that allows seamless transition to future versions. Thus, the platform delivers end-to-end latency for around 2 seconds, thereby unlocking a large number of use cases that require rapid responses. So, Base Network and essentially Chainlink are hand in hand moving forward right now. Everybody that's using Base Network can excel much more quicker because the full product line of Chainlink is now available on Base Network, which is massive for Chainlink, I'll be honest, but also massive for Base because it gets things up and running much more quicker for Base Network in terms of developers. So this is definitely going to add a lot of user base to Chainlink, but also a lot of user base to Base. So both on both sides, excellent, but also if you're holding Chainlink, this is a massive positive over time. As I always say, money's not made overnight, it's made over time. So over time, this is absolutely amazing for Chainlink and for the Base Network. Now, the US to fine for social media boosting. So one of the biggest issues inside the crypto space is random crypto projects. And by random crypto projects, I mean the projects that are just built to dump and pump. So the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK and the EU, and a few other countries teamed up together, and they call themselves the Action Task Force. Now, this happened a while ago. The UK slowly started cracking down on pump and dumps. The EU, same. Australia, same. Canada, same. Now, the US is getting involved in this sector as well. The US wants to also crack down on pump and dumps, but not only pump and dumps. The US government actually wants to crack down on influencers. Crypto influencers is who the US is targeting next. So they're actually targeting, with heavy fines, crypto influencers that promote random crypto projects on purpose to boost them so they can pump and dump on people, or random crypto projects that buy fake followers, because a lot of people, for a very odd reason, believe a crypto project is going to do good because their TikTok page has 100,000 followers, or their X page has 100,000 followers, or their Telegram page has 20,000 subscribers, which is all fake. To buy Telegram followers for 20,000 subscribers, it's about $600 to buy 20,000 subscribers on Telegram. So next time you go to any of these Telegram pages for these pump and dump or meme coin sections, and you see the Telegram group and it's like 10,000 people inside of it, yeah, most of them aren't real people. You can buy Telegram subscribers, you can buy TikTok followers, you can buy X followers, you can buy X impressions, likes, retweets, comments, you can buy anything online. So next time you go towards any sort of meme coin sections and so on, don't be so ecstatic and think, oh wow, 20,000 people are inside this group. Yeah, they just paid $400 to buy 10,000 subscribers for Telegram groups. So don't be fooled so easily. And the US wants to crack down on that. They want to crack down on pump and dumps. They want to crack down on influencers. They want to crack down on fake pages for crypto projects. So the US to fine for social media boosting, how crypto bloggers may suffer. The FTC leadership unanimously supported the introduction of new rules and regulations. They will take effect 60 days after publication in the Federal Register. Fake reviews not only waste people's time and money, but pollute the market space and divert business away from honest competitors. In other words, people from the retail section are running towards random crypto projects when genuine projects are right there. And they're running to these random projects thinking they're going to win millions of dollars, and they end up losing their money when they could have invested their money more accurately inside of these legitimate crypto projects. But the issue is some people don't want money next year, they want money now, and they end up losing money quick. So this was a comment that was made essentially by the FTC chairman, Fake reviews not only waste people's time and money, but pollute the market space and divert business away from honest competitors, said Lina, the FTC chairman. The new policy also applies to crypto influencers. With the release of the latest ban, unfair methods to boost a channel or page on social networks will lead to fines and sanctions from authorities. The FTC will also prohibit using tools that use artificial intelligence technologies for such purposes. The FTC could sanction crypto influencers. They can fine crypto influencers. This is all the US is saying. And it's going to happen 60 days after the publication. At the same time, the ban only applies to cases where the account's owner specially ordered or otherwise solicited such a service. The rules also mention that fines will be imposed if the mentioned methods are used to obtain benefits for commercial purposes. Recently, the FTC has noted a sharp increase in social media investment scams regarding, especially in cryptocurrencies. These included fake messages promising guaranteed high returns with little or no risk. The FTC consumer education specialist, Andrew, noted that scammers are increasingly targeting social media users on major platforms with fraudulent investment opportunities, especially in crypto. If you reply, the scammer will say they've made lots of money investing in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, and they can get you a unique opportunity that guarantees a significant return with little or no risk. But these are all lies designed to convince you and get your money. The victims is redirected to fake investment sites or apps where their investment accounts looks profitable. However, once the scammer has squeezed out as much money as possible, they disappear, leaving the victim with nothing. In addition to crypto influencers, betting platforms have previously come under the scrutiny of US authorities as well. Now, just to, before I read on more, this reminded me of a story that I just want to quickly share with you. So the part where it goes, the victim is redirected to a fake investment website or an app where the investment account looks profitable. However, once the scammer has squeezed out as much money as possible, they disappear, leaving the victim with nothing. Okay. Just to share you with a story. So I have a very close friend of mine that I've known since, school days and college days and uni days and so on. And he's not very into crypto whatsoever. And one day I was meeting, and I see my friends not on a regular basis because we all have different jobs and different lives and so on. But we see each other maybe once a month, once or 3 months, or once every 6 months we see each other. But every time we see each other, it's like we've never left each other as a group. But I saw him after a very, very long time once. And so he comes to where I am. And then I get in the car. And then he goes, he's not talking. So he's not talking whatsoever. And then I go, bro, what happened? What's going on? And then he goes, and this was a very long time. This was about 2 years ago this happened to him. So I go, what happened? And he goes, I think I've lost money. And I go, what do you mean you think you've lost money? Either you've lost money or you haven't lost money. And I go, what's going on? What happened? And he goes, I got involved in some crypto life. They were selling some crypto tokens, crypto lifestyle. And I thought, everybody's living this mad life, this crazy life in cryptocurrencies. And I want to live this lifestyle as well. I go, okay, what did you do? And he goes, I was contacted on Instagram by somebody I know. This is the best part. He said, I was contacted by somebody I know on Instagram, but I haven't talked to this person for a very long time. And she contacted me. And then she said, she's doing trading. She's showing me her trades. She's showing me, she's on vacation right now and things like that. And he goes, I want to do this as well. He has some money saved up and he wanted to do the same thing. So she sends him a website link for him to sign up. And then he signs up and he signs up completely to his website. And he transfers £1,500, his first payment. And this was in a span of 4 hours before he sees me. So he signs up to this website. He sends £1,500, first payment. And he puts his £1,500 in. And 20 minutes later on the website that they made him sign up on, the value goes up. The value goes up on his money. And now he has £1,700. Within 20 minutes of him putting £1,500 in, he checks the website again, and now he's got £1,700. And he goes, well, this is great. So he puts in another £2,000. And this is, again, space of 4 hours. He puts another £2,000 in. And then he waits 5 minutes, goes back on the website, refreshes the page, and now his money's sitting at roughly about 4,000 something pounds. So he's excited. He's like, okay, I'm going to cash out now. I just want to pull my money out. So he goes to pull his money out, and obviously it's a fake website. So he goes to pull his money out, and it doesn't pull out whatsoever. It does not pull out at all. And then when he goes to essentially pull out the money is when I basically met him. So this is like a span of 4 hours. So I met him, and this is when I met him. And I said, so what's going on? He says, I can't pull out my money out of this website. Can you take a look at this website? So I take a look, and it's basically a basic WordPress website. So if anybody's designed websites, you will know what WordPress is. It was a basic WordPress website designed to look like a crypto platform. And the part where he kept on refreshing to see his balance was just the scammers on the other side editing the numbers. His money was sent to a random crypto platform that doesn't even exist. So his money's gone completely. So he thought, let me message the person, the girl that, essentially he hasn't seen for a very long time. It turns out the girl that he hasn't seen for a very long time was also a fake account replicated from a girl that he actually did know. So he got wrapped up in the most long headache ever. Now, fast forward to 2024, about a week ago, he calls me, and I haven't spoken to him for a very long time. About a week ago, he calls me, and he goes, I want to get involved in crypto. And I said to him, bro, it's a bad idea for you. You should be nowhere near cryptocurrencies. And he goes, no, this time I want to do it right. This time I want to do it the long way, the one that you always talk about. Money's not made overnight. It's made over time. I've learned my lesson. I was like, thank God you've learned your lesson. But whenever I get time, I'll help you out. And I said, why'd you call me this time? He said, well, I decided maybe I should ask someone who knows before I jump into these random dreams. And his excuse was for that person was because he said he always wanted to live that lifestyle of private jets and, living this mad, crazy lifestyle and so on. And he never got to live it. But he's getting back involved in cryptocurrencies, but he did lose quite a lot of money. In a span of 4 hours, he lost quite a lot of money. But he's just one person. I know many stories of followers that I do have that I've shared with you, which I'll never share with anyone. But him, I will share because I've known him for a very long time, but I'll never share his name either. But yeah, please don't fall for scams, especially even if it's someone you know, because scammers do pretend to be people you know as well. They'll pretend to be your cousin or your distant relative or your ex-girlfriend or so on. And it's not those people. It's just scammers pretending to be those people contacting you in the hopes of squeezing money out of you. So please be careful. They pretend to be people as well. And don't easily fall for these fake lifestyles and so on. So essentially what they're saying here, the US government is saying the victim is redirected to a fake investment website or an app where the investment account looks profitable. However, once the scammer has squeezed out as much money as possible, they disappear, leaving the victim with nothing. Is exactly what happened with him. Because when he went to withdraw it as well, they told him to send more money. They said, if you want to withdraw your money, you need to send more money to withdraw your money, which was just, I was laughing my head off. And that time I shouldn't be laughing, but it was just incredibly comedy. Because if he just came to me, he was about to meet me in 4 hours. If he just came to me, I would have stopped him from doing that dumb move. But he ended up doing it 4 hours before we met each other. So yeah, he lost quite a bit of money on that day. He was not happy throughout the whole day. And obviously the rest of the boys, when we met up, didn't make the situation easier for him whatsoever. Now, in addition to crypto influencers, betting platforms have previously come under the scrutiny of US authorities as well. Earlier in August, the US Congress called on the Commodities Futures Trading Commission to ban political bets. Authorities noted that they could influence the outcome of US presidential elections as well. Regarding betting platforms, is what's also being scrutinized in this moment in time. Five senators and 3 members of House Representatives sent an open letter to the CFTC chairman, Rustam Benham. They stated that such mechanisms could undermine public confidence in the electoral systems. The initiatives is also aimed at the polymarket betting platforms where crypto community members guess the presidential elections outcomes. According to latest data, the bet volumes have exceeded $606 million. Vice President Kamala Harris is in the lead. Users estimate her chances of winning at 53% to 44% for Donald Trump. And at the same time, the total political section on the platform in terms of funds exceeds $1 billion. Polymarket participants bet on hundreds of events. Yeah, so what the US is going after right now, the US is going after pump and dumps. They're going after crypto influencers. They're going after fake crypto projects. And it's not just fines. They're going to be sanctioning people off. Now, the initiative is also aimed at Polymarket as well, the betting platform, where crypto members guess the presidential elections. And despite these statements of individual regulators and government officials, politicians have also increased their interest in cryptocurrencies in the run-up to presidential elections. In particular, Trump, who in 2018 instructed the US Treasury to end Bitcoin in 2021, called it a fraud and asked for regulatory to the industry. Although the Democrats have not explicitly stated their support for digital assets, they have not recently called for increased regulations or bans either. In addition, with approval from the above, the Securities and Exchange Commission have approved even one of the documents required to list Ethereum ETFs. Therefore, it is evident that American politicians have taken a course on a loyal attitude towards cryptocurrencies. Yes, that is true. Regarding the US, it is true that the Democrat Party right now is not introducing any sort of bans on cryptocurrencies, but it's also because we're going into election year. The Democrats don't want to look bad in front of the crypto investors, so they're not introducing any sort of bans and any sort of bans, let's just say, or fines. That's only because we're going into a political year right now. Who's going to be president, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? So obviously Kamala Harris's side is not imposing any sort of bans on cryptocurrencies, but neither is Donald Trump, and he wants to, stop the weaponization of cryptocurrencies. But putting all that to one side, any crypto influencers right now who are US citizens could be sanctioned by the US. So think of yourself as Russia being sanctioned off. If you're promoting random crypto projects on purpose, just to squeeze money out of people. Now, also, that was introduced in France the first time around. And I said, because France introduced this whole legislation, it's going to be implemented everywhere else. And France introduced this legislation 2023. Towards the end of 2023, France was the first country to do this, going after crypto influencers and essentially banning pump and dumps and chasing these projects down. And I said, if France is doing it because it's a G20 country, other G20 countries will follow because they're all on the same legislation. And the UK followed, Australia followed, Canada followed, and now the US is following the same rules. So, next news on tonight's live show is the US Financial Services Committee backs light touch AI regulations. Now, before we go through that news, let's go inside the comment section first. Let's see where we were. Let's see where we're inside the comment section. By the way, this is a live Q&A, so if you got any comments, put it down inside the comment section. Is this form of payment goes against CBDCs? Is this form of payment goes against CBDCs? You're talking about the previous news before that? Regarding Chainlink, does it go against CBDCs? No. Oh, you're talking about essentially Dubai regarding the payments of salaries? No, it doesn't really go against CBDCs. The central bank of the UAE is going to be dealing only with CBDCs. They said, however, that the retail section can deal with cryptocurrencies. It's just the central bank doesn't see it as legal tender. They only see CBDCs as legal tender. So that's got nothing to do with them. So the retail section can deal with cryptocurrencies, but the central bank is in CBDCs only. So no, it doesn't really affect CBDCs at all. Hi, Miles. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Messi, how you been? Even Miles and crypto peeps. Sempre, good to see you as well. How you doing? What's the difference between on-chain and off-chain? Messi, is this a good thing? Regarding salaries in Dubai, absolutely great thing. Nice. The space is being tidied up. How you doing? Healthy wealth. Good night, Miles. Thank you for all the news. JP, you leaving? See you tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. Too bad we can't go to the zoo anymore. Lol, Gino's here. Oh, nice. The space is being tidied up. Let's go healthy. Nice one, Miles. Nice one for looking out for the US brother. For the US brothers. Jerry Banfield left ICP advocacy on YouTube and recently signed out and left all social media. I wonder if the government attacks on influencers was the primary reason he left. Maybe. Leroy, good to see you. How are you doing? I'm concerned about my crypto efforts because I have great financial plans. I am registered Democrat. That is the only thing that concerns me about this election as I listen daily to the comments. Yeah, the Democratic Party regarding crypto regulations, they're not very good because they have none. The only reason Democrats are very silent right now and not going after crypto policies as often is because we're in the US election period. For example, Elizabeth Warren. Before we got this close to this whole US election, Senator Elizabeth Warren was fully against cryptocurrencies. Every week, you would hear something regarding Senator Elizabeth Warren. She would come out with some random document from the Wall Street Journal that the Wall Street Journal just makes up as they go along. and she used it as evidence to, bash on cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency investors and innovation in cryptocurrencies. Every week, Senator Elizabeth Warren would do something. I reported on this live show as well. But for a time period now, Elizabeth Warren has been quiet, except the whole polymod situation, but she's been very quiet. It's because we're going to election year right now. So the Democratic Party doesn't want to seem like they're anti-crypto in any sort of a way. So they're very quiet. But obviously, after this election is done, whoever's chosen as president, the Democratic Party won't be as quiet anymore. They'll still try to stop innovation in terms of cryptocurrencies in the US. Whereas the Republican Party are actually in favor of cryptocurrencies and want to bring in regulations and innovation inside the United States. And they want to move forward with cryptocurrency blockchain technology. The Democratic Party have shown, pretty much the majority have shown zero interest. And they're very silent. But before the election time even came up, they were very active. The Democratic Party was trying to stop innovation in cryptocurrencies in every way possible. Even if they had to lie through their teeth, they were lying through their teeth regarding the Democratic Party. But now they're very silent because they don't want to lose voters, crypto voters. US government is selling Bitcoin, but is Kamala or Chuck Schumer making any efforts to stop manipulating crypto markets? No. Kamala is doing absolutely. Do you know what I like about Kamala? Before I say this, I don't actually like Kamala Harris at all. She shares the exact same brain cells as a goldfish. So regarding Kamala Harris, but do you know what's interesting about Kamala Harris? All of her policies, well, all of them, one of her policies, but anything she says as, when I become president, I will do this. Kamala Harris keeps on doing interviews. If anyone's seen them, she keeps on making these videos and goes, if I become president, I will do this. If I become president, I will do that. She's the VP. She doesn't need to wait for presidency or leverage presidency for her to make America a better place. She can make America a better place as the VP right now. But she's leveraging her position on the ideology that when she is chosen for presidency, she's going to do great things in America. But for 4 years, she did absolutely nothing for America. But when she becomes president, she's about to do great things, apparently. But for 4 years, she did nothing. And she's leveraging random policies, and some of them pulled from the Trump campaign. But yeah, she's promising things that she's going to do when she becomes president, but she can do now. But she's leveraging it for votes, which is pathetic if you really think about it. What kind of a person does that? You're chosen as the VP of a country, the United States, and you can make a lot of change happen. It's not like Biden is trying to stop you. Biden doesn't even know he's Biden. Never mind Biden thinking he's president of the United States. Biden doesn't even know he's Biden. So Biden's not even stopping. So she can pretty much do anything right now by fixing America. But she won't do it. And she's leveraging votes and saying, I will do this and I will do that if I become president. Vote for me and I will do this and that, is what Kamala is saying. But she can do all of this and that as a VP. But she won't. She's leveraging votes, and believe me, I will bet both of my lungs that she will never do any of the policies she's shouting out and calling out. She won't do a single thing of the policies she's claiming. Name me a politician that has done something they said, except Trump. Name me a politician that has said he will do something or she will do something when she gets elected or when he gets elected. No politician has ever done anything they've said. Except Trump. I mean, Trump did say he's going to stop the trafficking situation, and he did stop the trafficking situation. Trump said he's going to bring peace with North Korea, and he did. He brought peace with North Korea. He flew out to North Korea and, shook in that nut job's Kim Jong-un's hand, and, they had a conversation together. Trump said he's going to fix the relationship with Putin, and he did. So everything Trump said, he did previously. He's the only politician that said it and did it. And that's saying a lot for politicians, because they never do it. But yeah, name me another politician that's said what they're going to do as a politician. No one. I mean, Trump helped the army, the US Army, a lot. He stopped wars. He brought peace with nations that were not even possible, according to CNN. CNN is just basically a comedy. CNN, in my opinion, CNN should just change their name to Comedy Central, because it makes more sense. But yeah, the US Financial Services Committee is now also focusing on AI regulations. But before we go through that, let's go to the comment section first. Let's see where we were. No, I'm connected. Yeah, US government is selling Bitcoin, but Kamala Harris. Yeah, honestly, Larry, facts. They're doing absolutely nothing regarding the policies. So basically, that person in Dubai could be paid their salary in Ethereum or XRP or Bitcoin, whereas CBDC is different or competing with that. Yeah, that person can be paid in cryptocurrencies, but people will still be on, because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, is what you have to factor in as well. So regarding what the policy that was introduced in Dubai, so a policy in the UAE in Dubai was just agreed upon for people to be paid in their salaries in cryptocurrencies. Now, is that going to affect the idea of CBDCs? No, not really. Because a lot of people are going to end up losing their jobs, and they're going to be going on some sort of universal credit situation, which was also discussed by the godfather of AI. And this person has named the godfather of AI. It is his actual nickname, the godfather of AI. He was a part of ChatGPT. He was a part of Gemini AI. He was any AI project on this planet. This man was a part of, and he's named the godfather of AI. He's had many conversations with presidential candidates. He's had many conversations with prime ministers of different countries. Even the United Kingdom prime minister had a conversation with this man, the godfather of AI, where he discussed at number 10 Downing Street with him that he should be looking into some sort of universal credit for people, because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs to AI technology. So regarding the matter of people will be paid in cryptocurrencies in their salaries and how will that affect CBDCs, not that much, because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs to AI technology, which means they will have no job to survive on, which means the government has to pay them some sort of a wage to survive. And the wage that the government is going to be paying them is in CBDCs. So for a small time period, they're going to be paid in cryptocurrencies. And then after that time, they're going to lose their jobs to AI technology. A lot of people have already lost their jobs to AI technology. A lot of people around the world have lost their jobs already to AI technology. And they ended up getting new jobs. But as time passes, everybody's going to be paid a wage by their own jurisdictions in CBDCs. So you can afford your rent and, you know, groceries and so on and so on. So basically that person to buy could be paid salaries in Ethereum or XRP or Bitcoin, whereas that CBDC, then there's no competition with CBDCs. CBDC still will be the main currency. She failed as a VP and filled our border. No trust in her to run the US. Let's go Semper. Yep, exactly. Why not do it now? Every media news channel is a joke, Miles. Facts. I agree with Shelly. Every media channel is jokes now. It's all one-sided. Yep, facts. Let's go. US Financial Services Committee backs AI regulations. The US is also now focusing on AI regulations because the US did such a great job on crypto regulations, because we have so many crypto regulations and policies where crypto innovation is absolutely thriving inside the United States. Oh, no, wait, no, it isn't, because Gary Gensler stopped that innovation. And now the US has decided to put some focus into AI regulations as well, because they did such a great job on crypto regulations. The United States Financial Services Committee, FSC, has stated its position on AI regulations and financial services. In a letter, the FSC Republican leadership stressed that a one-size-fits-all approach could limit competition among financial institutions. Instead, the group proposes assessing each institution's use of AI on a case-by-case basis. Thank you for somebody that had brains in this department, that they decided to come out with every AI might be a bit different, so a one type of rule to fit all probably wouldn't work. Maybe this person should have a conversation with Gary Gensler. The committee's viewpoint showcases optimism about the benefits of AI technology, like OpenAI ChatGPT and Claude. These tools are seen as avenues to enhance services access, leading to exclusivity and adoption within the industry as well. Furthermore, emphasizing the importance of developing regulations, the committee suggested regulations on establishing a suggested sandbox to handle emerging challenges without permanently imposing rigid new rules. A sandbox is basically where crypto platforms or AI platforms can test out their products in this digital sandbox. Once it's been approved from all the testings, it can be implemented on full scale. The strategy aims to, a lot of countries use a digital sandbox, the UK, the EU, Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, the list goes on, the amount of countries that are using digital sandboxes for crypto platforms and AI projects to test out before it gets on a full scale. The strategy aims to maintain stability while adapting existing regulations to accommodate advancements in AI technology. The letter underscores the need for regulators, Congress, and the Department of Treasury to approach AI regulations. The FSC stressed that current laws already address technology used by institutions and should be applied throughout the interoperability. The committee's view on protecting consumer privacy seems to differ from its hands-off stance on regulations. According to the letter, American consumers should be able to stop their data collection or request its deletion. If these steps were implemented, they could impact the business strategies of AI companies such as OpenAI and Google. The FSC stance raises doubts about the feasible it would be to enforce data deletion in AI systems that already are trained. Since these systems have heavily relied on data generated by humans, stopping the data collecting could be pose challenges to effectiveness of actions, potentially making them less useful when applied to technology. The U.S. Financial Services Committee calls for a case-by-case approach to regulating AI technology, and it shows a desire to balance the fostering innovation and safeguarding the consumers, while the committee backs using AI technology to expand access to it, acknowledges the importance of cautions and approach to privacy issues. Okay, the US is thinking about introducing many AI regulations and basing it on an application type of situation, not one rule for AI and everybody fits into it. No, they're going to be looking at as, every AI project probably needs certain regulations in place because it might be a bit different. Now, the interesting part is they're thinking about putting some sort of delete button for, they were thinking about to put it on delete button regarding people's data. So everybody's data is shared with AI, depending on what you're using. So if you're using ChatGPT, you've accepted to share some data with ChatGPT. If you're using, Grok or AI, for example, X shares data with Grok, and it goes on. So the US was thinking about putting some delete button for people so you can delete your data from AI. But then they realized, then how is AI supposed to operate? So privacy goes out the window. They were thinking about privacy just for a second, but then they realized if we put privacy laws for people, AI will become not very useful. So privacy goes out the window for AI technology. Same thing is going to happen with CBDCs. They're talking about privacy when it comes to CBDCs, but once the CBDCs get launched, no such thing as privacy regarding the social credit systems. Now, Germany's Information Security Office champions hardware wallets. So Germany's Information Security Office has decided to come out with a roadmap step-by-step on how to protect your crypto assets. It's good to see Germany's government is doing this, but it also goes back to what I said previously, which is it's all just one big game regarding cryptocurrencies, regarding blockchain technology in general. Which is what we were discussing yesterday on this live show. By the way, this is episode 130, but the platform that I'm using, Restream, is having some difficulties. It's a big platform, a major platform. I'm not really sure why they're having these difficulties, but for some reason it shows this as episode 127. This is live right now, obviously, and it shows this as episode 127, which is technically episode 130. So it should be, they said it should be fixed within a few days. I just want to point that one out as well, because yesterday's one said 127, the previous day said 127, which technically is actually episode 130. Now, regarding Germany's Information Office on Security Champions, before we go through that, let's go to the comment section first. Will crypto recover if Iran doesn't attack Israel? Will crypto recover if Iran doesn't? Yeah, the chances of Iran, going into war is low. However, I did say, look, regarding Iran, and by the way, if you're watching this for the first time ever, I'm Persian, so I'm Iranian. And regarding Iran, there's two armies in Iran. I said this as well. one army is it was essentially the People's Army, the Shah's army, and then Iran has the lunatic army as well, and which is for the government. And that army is with the government, maybe stirring things up. So there's a possibility of Iran doing a dumb movement and, you know, going after Israel, which is a big mistake, because actually it might not be that bad, because the Iranian government will be removed from the map completely, and if they do go to war. So on that basis, there are people in Iran, regular people, who are with the Shah of Iran and who support the Shah of Iran, the royal family of Iran, and they do not support the Iranian government. And these people do live in Iran, and I'm one of them. I live in London. I mean, obviously, I live in the UK, but I'm also in favor of the Shah, the good side, not the Iranian government. I do not like the Iranian government whatsoever. But if Iran's government does go to war, and it seems like they're thinking about it once again, if they do go to war, the Iranian government will be removed. There are people in Iran who are hoping that this war happens, so the Iranian government can be removed from Iran. Which, if this war happens, the Iranian government is gone, completely gone, which is not a bad idea, because the Middle East will be restored and the markets will be back to normal. Now, if Iran doesn't attack, then geopolitical tensions comes down. The market will obviously react in a positive way. But as long as Iran keeps on stirring up the geopolitical tensions and saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, then the markets will be volatile. War, in times of war, you can make a lot of money in the market space. Just want to point that out as well. In the stock market or in the crypto market, you can make a lot of money. Not financial advice in any sort of a way, but in times of war, you can make a lot of money when the markets become extremely volatile. So as Iran keeps on, mentioning they want to go to war, they want to go to war. So this is causing some sort of volatile stage in the crypto markets. If they don't go, then it's positive for the crypto markets and the stock markets, because they won't be too volatile. Because nobody runs towards crypto at the beginning, crypto and stocks, when wars happen. Everybody runs to safe havens. Gold is seen as a safe haven. If the war happens, gold goes up in value. If the war happens, silver goes up in value. If the war happens, US dollars goes up in value because it's a safe haven. Also, if the war continues, slowly, crypto will go up as well, cross-border payments in terms of that basis. But if it doesn't happen, the markets will be less volatile and it'll be reacting in a positive way. But yeah, if this war does happen, this is the last days of the Iranian government, which is actually a good thing. Because if you want to restore peace in the Middle East, get rid of the Iranian government. There's an old saying, an old quote by the king of Iran, And he said on his last days that if I go, the Iran will go with it. He said, if I go, the king of Iran, when he was leaving, his last words basically were, if I go, Iran goes. If I go, the Middle East goes. And if I go, the world goes. And when he left Iran, as you can tell, and when he left, the Middle East has been wars back to back, and the world has been shambolic movements with so many wars outside the Middle East as well. This man had so much power and so much control, and they took it all away from him. But he wasn't wrong. He said, if I go, Iran goes with it. And it did. We have some extremely dumb Iranian government controlling everything. So he wasn't wrong. If he goes, Iran goes with it. He wasn't wrong. I mean, look at Iran now, back then. Iran back then was absolutely amazing. Iran now is absolutely dreadful. If he goes, Middle East goes with it. He wasn't lying. When he went, look at the Middle East now. And he said, if I go, the world goes with it. Look at the world now. He wasn't wrong. That was his last words, the king of Iran. If I go, Iran goes with it. If I go, the Middle East goes with it. If I go, the world goes with it. And he left, and the war started everywhere. He had so much power. When he was in power, there was no wars in the Middle East. No wars. He would fly out to any country that would start a war and say, what's the problem? Problem fixed, problem fixed. He'll fly back out to Iran. That's how much power he had. But unfortunately, this Iranian government needs to go. The Iranian government needs to go, and they need to be replaced by the royal family again. Once again, the royal family right now are in the US. They live in the US. The royal family they come back. Middle East goes back to normal. Markets will be better as well. So Germany's information security on that basis, we went off topic only because it wasn't off topic either, because it's related to the crypto markets as well, related to the stock market as well, if a war happens between Iran and Israel. So will the crypto markets recover if Iran doesn't attack? Yes, they will definitely recover. Now, because geopolitical tensions cause so much of a volatile stage on any market stage, crypto or stock, Germany's Information Security Office champions hardware wallets. Germany's Federal Office for Information Security, also known as the BSI, explained the best practices for crypto storage and ultimately told users that a crypto hardware wallet was the most secure way to store private keys. Germany's government is making essentially a step-by-step roadmap for the retail section in Germany and for the corporate section as well. The post began with an exchange linked wallets, also known as hot wallets, and explained that while keeping crypto in an exchange wallet may be convenient for the end user, it also is the least secure way of storing keys. This is because these wallets are always connected to the internet, creating an attractive, essentially, target for hackers. Next were self-custodian wallets on the user's computer or smartphone. While this colder storage method is safer than keeping crypto on exchanges and allows users to control their keys, self-custodian wallet applications still suffer from security gaps, according to the BSI. Once again, the main attack vector for these wallets is the internet, where hackers can download malicious programs and to their computers or smartphones where the application is stored and steal their user private keys. The post concluded by noting that hardware wallets were secure and protected by pins, before also advising users to create backups of their seed phrases or private keys and store their copies in a safe place. In crypto hacks on the rise in 2024, according to a 2024 trade analysis crypto crime reports, hacks regarding the crypto space have risen by 2.8% compared to previous years. However, due to increased digital asset prices in 2024, the total value stolen so far rose by 84.4%. Regarding hacks inside the crypto space in 2024, it has risen by 84%. Cybersecurity firm Halbron recently told Cointelegraph that private key exploits accounted for 52.2% of the hacks in 2024 and represented about 57.5% of the value stolen from the hundreds of largest decentralized finance hacks. Several high-profile hacks that have just happened recently. In July, funds were stolen via cryptocurrency hacks totaled $266 million, mostly attributed to hacks of the popular Indian exchange Wazir X. Malicious attackers believed to be linked to North Korea's Lazarus hacking group also breached Wazirus as well for another $235 million. The Casper network, which was also forced into halt operations on July 31st after an exploit tainted 2 blocks, the network's validators later essentially upgrade on the node software. At the same time of this writing, the incident has been resolved. But regarding Germany's essentially government coming out with a roadmap on how to essentially protect people's assets. It's interesting that the German government is coming out with a step-by-step plan on how to protect yourselves. If you use cryptocurrencies, use cold wallets. Don't use essentially apps don't use exchanges. The worst idea you can do is using exchanges as a wallet. Bad idea. Hot wallets, keep a very low sum of money on hot wallets. Cold wallets, have multiple, will be the better solution. And the reason why I've always said have multiple cold wallets is because if one cold wallet gets affected, at least you have other ones to rely on. But yeah, it also goes back to the other situation as well, where I said this is just one big show. The World Bank, as I was explaining yesterday, the World Bank was doing blockchain testing at the exact same time that COVID happened, and everything is just a rigged situation for people to go towards blockchain technology. Governments are actually pushing blockchain technology on people indirectly by telling you not to go towards blockchain at the beginning, and people will run towards blockchain and so on. And now Germany is getting ready to tell their people how to use the crypto assets safely. You see where I'm going with this, and it's just a connection of a part 2 of what I was talking about yesterday. And if you haven't seen yesterday's live show, go and check it out. You'll understand what I'm saying. And each live show is pre-recorded and sent onto X. So, the next news on tonight's live show is the XRP Ledger. Now, some people hate XRP, some people like XRP, some people hate Ripple, some people like Ripple. But even the people that hate Ripple or hate XRP, they still hold XRP. Now, the XRP ledger sets a new $1 trillion trust limit on the Ripple USD. Now, everybody recently saw that the XRP ledger is doing testings on their new stablecoin, RLUSD. And the new testings people saw they were doing for quadrillions of dollars on RLUSD to see how far they can reach it. But a trust limit was also created as well. Now, we're going to go through that. But before we go through that, let's go to the comment section first. Let's see where we were. Amazing overview on Iran. Let's go, Leroy. Is Iraq or Libya better off since US removed Saddam and Hillary removed? Well, they were created. Evening, Miles and CMF. Hope you and everyone is well this evening. Ronnie, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Now, XRP Ledger. XRP Ledger sets new $1 trillion trust limit in Ripple's USD. A significant event on the XRP ledger involved setting a $1 trillion trust limit for Ripple USD. RLUSD, through no actual issuance of RLUSD, has occurred yet. This action serves as a preparatory framework for future transactions, reflecting the XRP ledger scalability and user confidence in the ecosystem. So let's first understand the concept of trust lines, is what's going on the XRP ledger right now. Trust lines and trust limits on the XRP ledger. A trust line helps the user build a trusted relationship with the currency issuer on the XRP ledger. After setting up a trust line, users enable the reset of the issuer's currency up to a certain preferred limit, also known as a trust limit. This limit basically safeguards users from receiving more of the currency than they are willing to trust. In the case of Ripple, a trust line was created for the RLUSD, setting up a trust line limit of $1 million. This figure represents the maximum amount of RLUSD the account holder is willing to trust. However, there is no RLUSD transaction or creation in the process. Instead, this action simply establishes the frameworks for future transactions involving RLUSD on this ledger. So last week, Ripple started the beta testings of RLUSD stablecoin, facilitating cross-border transactions between the XRP ledger and Ethereum. The XRP ledger implications and community reactions. The $1 trillion trust limit, even in the absence of actual asset, shows how high the flexibility and scalability of the XRP ledger is. The ability of users to reach such a high trust limit shows the potential and trust value that users hold for the XRP ecosystem. However, this development also prompts questions about the role trust plays in the issuance and circulations of digital assets on the XRP ledger. With Ripple expanding its range of products and services, including the introduction of the RLUSD stablecoin, it becomes increasingly crucial to understand the technical workings of the XRP ledger. RLUSD will compete with the highly competitive stablecoin landscapes currently dominated by Tether's USDT and Circle's USDC. Interestingly, this announcement of the $1 trillion trust limit has also sparked some reactions from the community. Many users were actually curious to the purpose behind the trust limit. One community members essentially confused it with some illicit activity, stating it means that this is fake or else USD isn't issued yet. This is a trust line on XRP ledger everybody can create and everybody can name it as it wanted. RLUSD will be issued by Ripple on the ledger, but not as a trust line thing. Another person clarified that while a trust line for RLUSD has been established, Ripple has not yet issued the asset. As a result, the substantial trust line set does not represent an asset currently in circulation. Rather, it serves as a preparatory measure within the XRP ledger, while enabling users to set up trust lines in anticipation of the RLUSD futures issuance. In all efforts, it shows massive confidence towards the XRP ledger to put a trust line of $10 trillion. Genuinely. So $1 trillion. In all essence, it shows how genuinely the scalability of the XRP ledger is, or the RLUSD token is going to be. It's 1,000,000% going to outperform USDT. Not overnight, over time, but 1,000,000% is going to outperform it. Now, this is massive, honestly. For the Ripple testings right now going on RLUSD, so far, all successful. We haven't heard any sort of bad news regarding that matter. Now, IMF is the next news we're going to go through on tonight's live show. The International Monetary Fund is proposing a ridiculous, essentially, tax on crypto mining. So is the International Monetary Fund, the question, so I'm going to share you the news, but the question that's going to be remained is the International Monetary Fund trying to stop, essentially, crypto mining because of this ridiculous tax they're trying to propose, which is 85%. Before we go through that, let's go to the comment section first. Ian, thank you so much for the £10 donation, brother. Let's go CMF. Ian, thank you so much for the £10 donation. That's going to go straight towards the CMF hedge fund. Let's go, Ian. Thank you so much for the £10 donation. Now, IMF, International Monetary Fund, proposes 85% tax hike on crypto mining to cut emissions. They're saying this is for helping the planet. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has recently declared that increasing the taxes for electricity usage in crypto mining could help to curb the global carbon footprint. The International Monetary Fund has proposed an 85% tax hike to cut on the global carbon emissions. The agency came up with this throughout provoking revelations in its recent blog post they did. The International Monetary Fund estimates that the proposed tax revision will generate $5.2 billion in annual revenue worldwide. Additionally, it will reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 100 million tons, equivalent to Belgium's current emissions. However, it remains unclear whether this tax will directly contribute to reducing carbon emissions. And what they mean is, if people pay high tax for carbon emissions, is it actually going to go towards carbon emissions? And the answer to that question is it's never going to go towards it. See, the government charges people with many jurisdictions. They charge people with high taxes on the purpose of they're going to put more, wind tunnels or wind turbines or solar panels and so on. And realistically, they don't do any of those things. But the money goes straight in their pockets. The proposed taxation may also have essentially unintended consequences, driving the crypto miners to relocate to countries where lower electricity costs are there. This could potentially offset some of the environmental benefits of the tax as well. Logic behind the International Monetary Fund crypto mining tax revision thoughts. Financial experts at the International Monetary Fund believe that higher levies will deteriorate the increasing energy consumption among crypto miners and AI data centers. The analysts have concluded that this might encourage them to look for more energy efficient devices to help reduce the energy consumption through crypto mining devices. The Bitcoin mining industry has been decent progress in the last few years. The International Monetary Fund believes the taxing this industry will benefit the financial health of governments across the world. Recently, some of the International Monetary Fund executives made stark claims that the average electricity cost for crypto miners should be hiked by 85%. They believe that this step will curb the global carbon emissions. And Hibos, the Deputy Division Chief of the International Monetary Fund Physical Affairs Department, has suggested that implementing a 0.047 per kilowatt hour tax on electricity consumptions for crypto minings. Another expert, Nate, a climate policy division economist, stated that this taxation would deteriorate the crypto mining industry from increasing energy consumptions and help curb the emissions to meet global goals. Taking the numbers, according to two, if the health effects of minings were considered, the tax would rise to 0.089 per kilowatt an hour. They also stated that the energy consumption for one Bitcoin transaction is equivalent to the electricity of an average Pakistani consumer in 3 years. They also said that a Google search consumes 1/10 of what AI models like Brad and Gemini use for one single query. Last September, the International Monetary Fund released a report which stated that by 2027, crypto mining will cause 0.7% of global carbon emissions. Adding the emissions from the AI data centers, this amount could swell up to 1.2% annually, equating to 450 million tons of emissions each year, carbon emissions each year. Hubers and Lin believe that tax increases in one jurisdiction could lead to crypto miners switching locations to places where more efficient taxation is in place. Global tax revisions will deter the crypto miners and aid AI data centers increasing energy consumptions. International support and coordination is the only way to cope with this emerging issue. So they're thinking about introducing crypto taxations up to 85%. Is ridiculous. What is this going to essentially achieve is more money for the government. Is that money going to go towards building more wind turbines and solar panels? No. Is it going to go straight in their pockets? Yes. Is this whole ideology about global warming absolutely just one big massive BS? Correct. Apparently, as I said previously, the more money that you pay towards carbon emissions, the better the weather becomes. Apparently. A very long time ago, they told people the planet's about to freeze to death. Fast forward to today, they're telling everybody the planet's going to heat up. I'll guarantee you within 50 years, they'll come out and say the planet's about to freeze again. And 50 years later, they'll come out and say the planet's about to heat up. And they're just using the same scenario back to back, just changing a few words out. And people go, yes, we believe you. I don't know when people are going to realize maybe it's just all BS. And maybe it's just called nature. Now, regarding the crypto taxation, this is definitely going to affect Bitcoin on a major scale. If they do actually introduce 85% on taxations, it's definitely going to affect Bitcoin mining institutions without a doubt. They would either have to come up with some sort of eco-friendly setups, or which they won't do. And they know that very well. They know for a fact that none of these Bitcoin mining institutions are all of a sudden going to be putting up wind turbines everywhere. They know that they're not going to be doing that. Then they're just going to be squeezing money out of them, is what's basically going to happen. They just want to make a big cut from the Bitcoin mining industry as it grows. That's all they want to do. Now, obviously, this legislation has not been placed in whatsoever. This legislation has not been placed in whatsoever at all so far, the 85% taxation, but it is something the International Monetary Fund is thinking about proposing. And if the International Monetary Fund proposes it, they listen. And they'll keep it under consideration and approve it eventually. But yeah, they just want a big cut of the Bitcoin miners because they know, the Bitcoin mining industry isn't just going to go, okay, you know what we need? 50 wind turbines and 1,000 solar panels. They know they're not going to be doing those investments. It's either they close up shop, go somewhere else, or still operate and pay something on top. And they just want to squeeze money out of them. Because some of these Bitcoin mining industries are too heavily invested into their Bitcoin operations, and they don't have that much money lying around to put 50 wind turbines outside their warehouses. And they know that very well. That's why they want to squeeze money out of them instead. And they know that they can't just shut their operations and move to a different jurisdiction because that's going to impact them a lot. Right now, Bitcoin mining operations are not making that much money. The Bitcoin mining industries are not making that much money on fees at all. So it's not really good for them. And they just want to put more pressure on them. So that's definitely going to affect the Bitcoin mining operations if the International Monetary Fund goes ahead with this whole squeezing money out of them. My accountant said to me, by 2026, when you go to a petrol station, the HMRC will know whether you pay cash or bank card. That's why they now have gates at supermarkets, facial recognition. CBDC is going to be happening, pretty much, yeah. CBDCs are definitely going to be happening. Every car could be fitted with a hydrogen on-demand exhaust fumes, will be pure oxygen, but there's no way to test that regarding hydrogen demands and so on. Yeah. Honestly. But, people believe it. People believe everything. As I said yesterday on this live show, people are very gullible. Most people will believe anything you tell them. You can tell the same lie 10 times to the same person. Some will, stop believing you after the 6th time you lie to them, and some will continue believing in you even if you tell the same lie 20 times. And people will fall for it. I mean, obviously the new one that's going around and that people are going to fall for is Mpox, which we were discussing yesterday. I mean, Mpox, everybody's going to fall for that. Not everybody, but the majority will. Majority of people will be lining up for new vaccines for mpox. 100% Miles, I'm with you on that one. Facts. Let's go, Troy. And Ronnie, regarding your accountant, he's a smart man. By 2026, he's on the timeline. 2027 is when the banks close up their branches. Wind turbines are the most efficient source or inefficient source of electricity. Why are your banks still giving mortgages to beachfront properties? Exactly. No, the easiest way to tell, has the sea risen essentially up? Has the sea level went up? The easiest way to tell is you can look at multiple beach lines in different jurisdictions around the world and see if the water has risen in value, the water has risen or not. And the answer is no. But they will tell you the seas are rising, and it hasn't. And they will tell you, the world is heating up too much. The world is heating up and we need to slow it down. I mean, we live in the UK. I mean, we have 2 weeks of sun, and after that, it's just rain and thunder and very, very extremely cold weathers. The heating part makes no sense because every year the weather is the same in the UK. So if we're heating up, why is it not heating up over here? We have 2 weeks of sun and it's just back to thunderstorms, cold, rainy weather days. And it's the same weather every year on repeat. But we're heating up, apparently. We're heating up. Every year we're heating up. I don't see it, but we're heating up. But again, 20 years ago, they told everyone the planet is freezing, was the topic. The topic was 20 years ago that the planet is freezing. And now 20 years fast forward, and the topic is the planet is heating up. 20 years later, we'll repeat. The planet's freezing, the planet's heating. The planet's freezing, the planet's heating. I find it interesting that the finance ministers in Aussie is one promoting the digital ID. There we go. But also there's multiple data sources you can check regarding CO2 emissions and the zero difference. You can literally double the amount of CO2 in an atmosphere and it will not change the climate. The straight lines in the sky make it rain. Facts. More facts. Sounds like an amazing place to live. The UK, oh yeah, absolutely amazing. The example of when you gas up your car, they will know when you're using. This is why I want to stay in my older vehicle. Without the technology, I predict 3 years used vehicles will be worth a lot because of that. Yeah, I think slowly, they're going to start, essentially, slowly, they're going to slow down the whole gas cars. The world has its own natural cycles, Miles. If you're heating up, she will go into a mini ice age to reset herself. Yep, and it's called nature. But obviously they're saying, they tell people that the planet's doing this and the planet's, and it's just nature. It's just what it is in a simple word, without even looking at data. If you want to look at the data, look at the data. It's always better. It's always better to stick to factual information. But even if you don't want to look at data, it's just called nature. But yeah, Ian, facts. I have a beachfront property from 2003 and I'm not under the sea yet, and we have always been close to the sea level. Let's go, Butch. Now, Hong Kong. The UK has become a very dangerous place. If you voice your opinion, Article 10 now has no meaning. Yeah, which I'm not going to be doing either. If you can manipulate the data, the high will set it itself. Yeah, there's also a saying where is of course the scientists are going to be right when you silence the other side. Everyone should pick up on that. Of course, the scientists are going to be right when you silence the other ones. I mean, the electric cars, they can shut it off a certain distance. I heard because of the chip built in. Yep, I think Apple made that chip for EVs. Ooh. Yep, now I fully understand, Happy Pisces, what you mean. Regarding, it can manipulate the data itself. Like, yep, they can. Same goes with doctors. Of course, the doctors are going to be right when you silence the other ones. That scenario plays out with COVID. Many scientists and many doctors came out and said that the COVID vaccines were not fit to be used on people, and they were silenced. And the other doctors and scientists were paid off. They came out and said, yes, the vaccines are good. The COVID vaccines are excellent. Everybody take it. So, of course, when you silence the other side, one side is right. They silenced one side of the vaccines, which said the vaccines are bad, and they let the other side get very loud. The vaccines are good. So when you silence one side, of course the other side is correct. Now, does Hong Kong have issues with USDT and USDC? We are going into regulations, we are going into stablecoins, and we are going to cross-border payments. Stablecoin regulations is a big thing, massive thing. If your doctor doesn't ask about your eating habits, lifestyles, and gives you tablets, your doctor is your dealer, not your healer. Facts, absolutely facts. For just essentially Ronnie said. Facts, Miles. Let's go, Ian. Now, stablecoins, USDT and USDC, Hong Kong. And I did say previously that Tether wants to, put their headquarters in Hong Kong. Is that going to play out good? Is Hong Kong behind Tether in a positive way or in a negative way? So, does Hong Kong have issues with USDT and USDC? Because if Hong Kong has issues with USDT, not good for you, not good at all for Tether. Because we know for a fact the EU is against Tether due to the MiCA regulations, as we were discussing yesterday. And we know for a fact that the UK is going to follow the EU, and the US and Canada and everybody in the Western countries are going to go against Tether, and also some Asian countries as well. But if Hong Kong goes against Tether, so as Hong Kong regulators launch a collaborative effort with the private sector focused on stablecoins, a local industry executive has discussed the potential implementations for stablecoins such as Tether USDT and USDC coin. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the HKMA, announced the first five participants in the country for stablecoin issuers in the digital sandbox, including firms like Standard Chartered Bank, who's also a Ripapana, Aminico Brands, Hong Kong Telecommunications, Jingdong Technology, and RD Innotech. Tether was not announced, neither was Circle. As a part of the sandbox, which launched in March 2024, the participants are expected to test their proposed stablecoin business models and engage with HKMA on future compliance with proposed regulatory regimes. One of the sandbox participants, Jingdong from CoinLink Technology, announced plans to issue a stablecoin pegged to the Hong Kong dollar on a 1-to-1 ratio, as Hong Kong has been actively moving to regulate the stablecoin industry and possibly create its own stablecoins. The local stablecoin ecosystem will likely transform significantly in the coming years, according to David Wu, the the financial officer of Digital Asset Exchange, OSL. So, the big question, USDT and USDC are far from achieving significant mainstream payment status, is what was said by Hong Kong's monetary authorities, that USDC and USDT are not going to get the green light they need in Hong Kong. Stablecoins like USDT and USDC coin offer the advantage of 24/7 trading worldwide, but their adoption as payment tools by mainstream commerce, banks, and governments remains limited. Around limited, they put quotes. Wu said in an interview with Cointelegraph, "They're all far from achieving significant mainstream payment status." Wu argued that adding that the usage of USDT and USDC is primarily seen in developing nations, large unbacked populations, and online-centric industries that often operate outside the traditional tax regimes. According to Wu, the global mainstream firms have not yet embraced stablecoins because such assets are not ready, accepted by auditors, banks, or even governments. In other words, banks, governments, and the corporate sector are not giving any sort of green lights to USDT or USDC by the looks of it. This limited adoption stems primarily from regulatory uncertainties, as a lack of clear and consistent frameworks governing stablecoins leads to legal risk and compliance challenges, which goes back to regulations. As I say, one of the green lights for XRP also is regulations. It doesn't matter that XRP, the token itself, is a regulated token. Regulations don't need to be in place for that regulated token to be able to operate. Stablecoins are also still associated with volatile digital asset ecosystems. Wu noted that, adding that auditors and banks hesitate to support stablecoin transactions due to concerns about legitimacy and regulatory scrutiny. Hong Kong's stablecoin sandbox is a positive step forward. To address stablecoin adoption challenges and promote mainstream stablecoin use, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has been pushing stablecoin regulation within its stablecoin issuer sandbox. However, not USDT. Hong Kong is not pushing for USDT. Hong Kong's regulations will probably require full asset reserves, possibly with additional buffer reserves, ensuring solvency and liquidity. Issuers must maintain reserves in highly liquid, low-risk assets such as cash and short-term government securities, ensuring adequate reserves for redemption demands under different market conditions. I told everybody that essentially Tether's biggest downfall is their transparency part. And I said the EU knows that Tether can't show transparency. So in their MiCA regulations, they said that if you want to become green-lighted stablecoin in the EU, you would have to show, one, transparency, two, keep your 60% of your reserves in banks, for example. And Tether won't do this because they don't have that much reserves to show. So, and I said that every other jurisdiction can now, and I was talking about how Tether's kryptonite basically is transparency, where they can't show transparency. And this is bad for a stablecoin, that their kryptonite is transparency, is what I was saying yesterday. And I said every other jurisdiction is probably going to follow. I said, you know, these G20 countries and so on, they're all going to follow the EU in terms of regulations. And it seems like they're also all following, they are definitely following the EU in terms of regulations, because even Hong Kong wants you to show transparency for their stablecoins and to keep your reserves visible in some sort of banks, which Tether can't do. Hong Kong regulators will also require stablecoin operators to comply with anti-money laundering laws and know your customers' requirements to ensure the transparency and legitimacy of transactions, the executive noted. Over time, this could significantly impact the global financial landscape, Wu said. He also mentioned that it could take up to 12 to 18 months for Hong Kong regulators to yield some sort of conclusive results. Hong Kong's based stablecoin may face global adoption issues, while USD-pegged stablecoins currently face limitations. As some companies in Hong Kong stablecoin sandbox have publicly disclosed plans to issue Hong Kong dollar-pegged stablecoins, one may wonder whether local issuers would want to create stablecoins pegged to the US dollar. According to Wu, certain prospective stablecoin issuers in Hong Kong have been considering both Hong Kong dollars and US dollar stablecoins in their plans. Initially, we anticipate stablecoins pegged to the Hong Kong dollar and USD will be issued and tractable on public blockchains networks such as like Ethereum, Wu told Cointelegraph. Hong Kong dollar and US dollar stablecoins may facilitate cross-border trade transactions and may reduce associated costs. As the market matures, stablecoins will extend to business-to-consumer payments and investment scenarios, including e-commerce, retail, and personal remittances. However, both Hong Kong dollar and US dollar stablecoin issuers might face certain challenges on their way to adoption in Hong Kong, according to Wu. USD stablecoins currently face more limitations, particularly in relation to retail offerings, Wu said, adding that this area requires further clarity. On the other hand, a pure Hong Kong dollar-based stablecoin could offer benefits for local transactions, but it may face limitations in global commerce and adoption. The primary reason is the dominance of the US dollar in international trade and finance, which makes US dollars stablecoins like USDC more widely accepted, Wu stated. So In Hong Kong, who said maybe people start creating their own stablecoins on Ethereum network, for example. And there has been quite a lot of random stablecoins being created on Ethereum, but none of them have ever picked up. USDT still remain number one, and USDC still remain number two. But we do have a list of stablecoins that nobody ever goes towards, and they're all built on Ethereum. They're all built by either random people or random crypto platforms. But that's what he's talking about regarding that matter of Ethereum, that people could just create their own stablecoins, and we need to get regulations up and running quick so we can stop this whole randomness of stablecoins. But also, on the matter of USDT and Tether. Yeah, Hong Kong has not greenlighted Tether in their digital sandbox at all. Not even once. Not good for Tether. Because Tether was thinking about putting their headquarters in Hong Kong, but they're not even approved to be in digital sandbox testings. And Standard Chartered Bank was Rip upon. Now, the next news to talk about on tonight's live show is regarding MasterCard. But once again, Tether is not doing too good in terms of regulations. It looks like Hong Kong is turning against them as well. Now, actually, let's see where we were inside the comment section before we go to the MasterCard news. Dr. Savvy Barbara O'Neill, anyone watching this live, I've highly recommended looking at these people. Let's go, Ronnie. Actually, all cars who have a computer chip can be disabled through a GPS. Also, EMF could shut them down as well. They can do, yes. They never show the previous part of heating zones, which is the cold part. It is a natural Mother Nature operating. Facts, TMC. Someone or company connected to Tether has been invited by Trump for efficiency project. Yes, yep, it has been. I talked about, yeah, Tether custodian has been selected by Trump. Yep, they have been. At the beginning of this live show, I revealed it. All electric car companies, their main business data collection before car companies' data is a new gold rush. It is. The data is going to be, yes. Trump picks Howard, the CEO of Counterfeit, who is who's a custody of Tether. That is true, yes. I revealed that news. The first news actually we went through on this live show was regarding Trump and Tether. Every US president bows down to the owl on Bohemian Road. Yep. Now, MasterCard. So MasterCard is doing some achievements right now, and their next scale is in Africa and Middle East. As I said previously, Africa is definitely becoming a massive blockchain continent, is what's happening in Africa. Massive investments are going towards that. $100 million investments, billion-dollar investments are going towards Africa in terms of AI and blockchain technology. So MasterCard collaborates with Scale to essentially accelerate digital payments in Africa and Middle East. MasterCard has partnered with Scale, an issuer of a partner, to accelerate market deployments for fintech companies across Africa and the Middle East. According to a statement shared by TechNext, the collaboration will essentially alleviate key technical and commercial barriers to the entry of that fintech companies and enablers, payment service providers, PSPs, and telecom faces when launching payment programs, enabling them to focus on their core businesses and launch new products and services efficiently. The partnership will bring a variety of advantages, not only to fintech companies, but also to a wide range of other players across the ecosystem. MasterCard and Scale will support fintech companies and other ecosystem players in securing BIN sponsorships, building sustainable unit economies, designing and commercializing their cards and other payment programs, assessing profitability models for their programs, and delivering world-class customer experience. This is what MasterCard had to say. At MasterCard, we are committed to working with local ecosystem players to drive the growth of innovative payment solutions across the region, with the aim of bridging the digital gap between enhancing financial, in conclusion, improving access to financial services with in-depth knowledge of fintech landscapes. Scale is our ideal partner in achieving these goals, said Omen, the Executive Vice President of Market Development at MasterCard. Founded by South African entrepreneurs and industry experts, Miranda, Scale is charting the course to reshape the continent's financial landscape. The startup supports fintechs across their segments and stages by enabling their go-to market and speed to revenue strategies through the technology and partnership suite. Fintech companies move at the speed of required commercially viable collaborations with experienced companies that cater to a cost-sensitive market through our exciting partnerships with MasterCard. We are solving a major pain point and providing a single point of contact while absorbing the complexities of seeking a bank BIN sponsor, third-party processor, and other payment solution providers. This combined ecosystem service allows fintech players to focus on their core businesses and for us to focus on ours, on streamlining processes, enabling payments, and supporting the program's growth to earn revenue faster, said the co-founder and CEO of Scale. Together with their partners, they will co-create an exclusive value proposition that poised for long-term growth. The collaboration will evolve into technology propositions, enabling any tech company to acquire the MasterCard issuing capability through Scale. MasterCard will plug its managed services into the partner systems and run their card programs implementations from end to end. In this post-launch period, Scale will assist the partners in growing their portfolios, driving their revenues, achieving profitability by understanding consumer behaviors, market dynamics, and competitors. For financial institutions, it will facilitate a collaboration with stakeholders in the card's value chains. Meanwhile, merchants will enjoy easy access to digital financial products and services that will allow them to grow their businesses. For governments, the new financial offerings available in the market will contribute to reducing cash-based transactions, enabling more people and business to participate in the economic developments and boosting GDP growth. Finally, consumers will have a choice of financial products and services that meet their needs. So, as I said previously, major things are definitely happening in Africa. Major things are happening in Africa in terms of blockchain technology and AI technology. And I said I'm going to keep people updated on what's happening in Africa as well, because $100 million investments, billion-dollar investments are all happening right now in Africa. The continent of Africa is about to get a massive update, and it's going to become, because some jurisdictions are aiming for becoming a crypto hub, so their capital cities are aiming, Paris is aiming to become an AI hub. London wants to aim for becoming a blockchain hub, cryptocurrency hub. Hong Kong, blockchain hub. Dubai, blockchain hub. Singapore, blockchain hub, and so on. Tokyo, blockchain hub. And some are aiming for AI hubs in terms of their capital cities. On the other hand, the continent of Africa is aiming for, as a collective group of countries, aiming for becoming a hub for blockchain technology and AI technology as well. The entire continent. So I'm definitely going to keep people updated on the matter of what's happening in Africa as well, because if you want to be first in terms of major projects that are getting massive fundings, and if you want to have an idea of who's funding in Africa right now, Amazon is actually funding $9 billion and so on, $8 billion, $1 billion. Amazon is funding into African projects. Block is funding into African projects. Google is doing some fund. The list of companies right now, even governments. Russia is doing $100 million investment in terms of blockchain mining in Africa as well. So in terms of governments or companies, major things are happening in the entire continent. So it's getting a massive upgrade for becoming a hub for blockchain technology and AI technology. And they're starting to teach education, blockchain education, AI technology education in schools in Africa as well. So if you want to be first in and projects that are going to come out of Africa, and as I said, I'm going to update people on this live show as well every single night. If I do come across any sort of news sources that are new projects in terms of you want to be first in for blockchain, genuine blockchain projects, or first in for companies that before they go IPO. I mean, this new company Scale that's just came around, partnered itself with MasterCard, being an African company as well. Their biggest partnership right now is definitely with MasterCard, and they haven't went public yet. There's still a small, essentially, company at that stage. So a lot of things are happening over there, which I'm definitely people updated on. If you want to be first in terms of government-funded projects and so on. It's all about making money. China has the most to gain from Africa due to the leverage loans. Yes, they do. Definitely facts, Ronnie. Absolute facts. Let's see where we were. Hasn't there been over 6 coups of governments in Africa in the last 5 years? Yep, they have. Now, yeah, that's all true as well. Now, we've also come to the endings of this live show as well. So, the news topics we went through on tonight's live show was MasterCard and essentially collaborating with Scale in Africa. We talked about Hong Kong in terms of that monetary authority of USDT and USDC. Do they approve it? Do they not approve it? We also talked about on tonight's live show regarding the International Monetary Fund proposing an 85% taxation on crypto mining, which will damage the Bitcoin mining corporations if the International Monetary Fund is actually proposing an 85% taxation. We also talked about the XRP ledger on tonight's live show regarding their trust lines. We also talked about Germany regarding their Information Security Office championing for hardware wallets. We also talked about the topic of US Financial Services Committee backing AI regulations. We also went through the topic on tonight's live show regarding the FTC proposing sanctions and essentially fines on pump and dumps and crypto influencers that are promoting random projects is what a particular US Department of Government is looking into right now. We also went through the news of Chainlink giving a complete green light of all their Chainlink operations on the base network, which is massive for Chainlink and also massive for base network. We went through the news topic that the UAE has just green lighted in Dubai, essentially crypto payments for salaries, where now you can get paid for your wages from your work. You can pay it in cryptocurrencies in Dubai. That's happening right now. It's just green lighted from the courts. We also talked about the topic of Trump on tonight's live show as well, regarding Trump choosing Howard for their key role in transition team, which Howard being Tether. These are all the news topics we went through on tonight's live show, and we did Q&As in between as well. Good night, Professor Miles and the rest of the family. Frankie Butter, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Emperor and Conrado just raised $600,000 for real estate, crypto, housing, finance in Mozambique. Is amazing. Let's go, Leroy. Leroy, thank you for the update on that matter. A lot of things are happening, honestly, in Africa right now. In terms of blockchain, blockchain adoption and AI regulations and AI adoption, a lot of things are investment terms. So much is happening in Africa. It's definitely a continent everybody should be looking into if you're inside the crypto space and you want first pick on crypto projects, because a lot of projects are going to be popping out of Africa, which could do incredible things. You never know. But I'll definitely keep people updated on that matter. What happened to the inventor in Africa that could generate electricity from an atmosphere? Plus, he also had H2O generators. Yeah, he disappeared. Happy Pisces. See you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. Ronnie, look at hydrogen from any type of water using calculation from his technology in Canada on X. Has no competition. Let's go, Leroy. CMF, thank you so much to everybody that tunes in every single night. If you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like. If you're watching this on X, drop a follow, drop a like. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. If you already haven't on YouTube, subscribe already. If you haven't, follow me on X. I do follow back as well. Thanks, Miles. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Oh, Shelly, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. Mike, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Pablo, see you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. This was a CMF live show. Every single night you can tune into this live show. I talk about the most recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, politics, regulations. Every night you can tune into this live show. This has been episode 130, but for some reason it says 127 on X, but it's actually 130. It's just the platform that I'm using is messing up the titles, but on YouTube it says 130. So you can tune into this every single night. Crypto Miles show is global resource. Let's go, Leroy. Thanks so much for the kind words, brother. I will see. Also, we have a Telegram group as well, which anybody is more than welcome to join. The link is on X. If you're watching this on X, the link is also on YouTube. If you watch this on YouTube, or if you just want access to it, send me a message. Also, TMC. Theodore, TMC. You messaged me regarding something, but I don't know where. Just tell me, do you share the same? Message me on X. TMC, message me on X or on YouTube if you can, because you said you messaged me, but I couldn't find your message. Do you have a different name on Telegram? TMC, do you have a different name on Telegram? If so, let me know what your different name is on Telegram, because you said you messaged me, but I couldn't find your message. I wasn't ignoring you. It's just I couldn't find your message. So do you have a different name, TMC, on Telegram? If so, direct message me what your name is. Because I have a lot of messages on Telegram to go through. So I want to be able to reply to you as well. But I don't know if you have the same name as you do on YouTube on Telegram. If you don't, because some people don't have the same name, message me what your name is on Telegram somehow. On X, for example, you can message me. I'm investing in Miles. Let's go, Scott. Let's go, Miles. Scott, let's go. See you tomorrow sometime as usual. The hydrogen dollar on XRP would compete with the petrol dollar. Let's go, Leroy. Be here for crypto miles, otherwise you will be nowhere. Let's go, Leroy. We all be sitting on the beach in Dubai soon. Let's go, Scott. Absolutely facts. And we've reached the endings of tonight's live show. I will see everybody tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. See you tomorrow.